Welcome to Hidden Dimension AI, the place where reality bends, time forgets, and the unseen watches from the shadows. Tonight we're diving into a tale that has been whispered across generations, hidden behind layers of tradition, silence, and fear. A story not just about women who chose to wait, but about what happens when they do, and why some never get to choose again. This is not a simple urban legend or a passing myth meant to scare young girls into conforming to societal expectations. This is something far deeper, darker, and more disturbing than most are willing to believe. It's a phenomenon that spans centuries, cultures, and continents. One that touches the lives of countless women who, for reasons they cannot explain, find themselves standing alone at the edge of their 30s, staring into a mirror that no longer reflects them accurately, hearing voices that whisper secrets no living soul should know, and feeling the presence of something ancient and waiting just beneath the surface of ordinary life. It begins quietly, like most things that change the course of a person's destiny. A woman in her late 20s starts noticing small, unsettling changes in her environment. At first, she dismisses them as stress, fatigue, or even paranoia, but soon the signs become impossible to ignore. Her reflection in the mirror moves slightly out of sync with her own movements, as if it belongs to someone else entirely. She hears faint whispers carried on the wind outside her window, calling her name in a language she doesn't understand. Her dreams become vivid, almost too real, filled with ancient symbols, forgotten rituals, and shadowy figures watching her from beyond the veil of sleep. She tells no one because she knows what people will say. They'll tell her she's imagining things, that she's stressed, that she waited too long, that she brought this on herself. But deep down, she feels it. Something is watching her, waiting for her to make a choice, and whatever decision she makes will determine whether she survives the next chapter of her life or disappears like so many before her. There are rumors, old dark ones, passed down through whispered stories and half-forgotten folktales, about women who remain unmarried past a certain age, not because they didn't want to marry, not because no one asked, but because every man who tried disappeared. No bodies were ever found. No clues were ever uncovered, just gone. Vanished without explanation. In some cases, the groom-to-be would simply walk out the door on the morning of the wedding and never return. In others, the man would fall ill the night before the ceremony and die within hours. Some were last seen entering a forest, a church, or even their own homes, only to be swallowed by silence forever. People called these women cursed. Others believed they had made a pact with something older than God. But in truth, it was neither curse nor pact. It was something far older than any religion or superstition. It was a ritual, passed down through bloodlines, hidden in folklore, ignored by modern minds. And once it begins, there's no turning back. One such woman was Elena Varga, born in a remote village nestled deep within the Carpathian Mountains. She was beautiful, intelligent, kind, everything a bride should be. Everyone said she would marry young, settle down, raise a family, and live a quiet life. But she didn't. Suitors came, suitors left. One vanished on his way to propose. Another fell ill the night before their wedding. One walked into the forest and was never seen again. People called her cursed, but Elena knew better. She wasn't cursed, she was chosen by something beneath the earth, something ancient, something that watches women who stand alone for too long. And when they do, it answers. The legend says, every woman who reaches the age of 29 without marrying is given a choice. A whisper comes to her in the quietest hour of the night, sometimes in dreams, sometimes in mirrors, sometimes in the sound of rain hitting the window. You have waited long enough. Would you like to know why? Those who say yes change. They begin to hear things others don't, feel presences where there should be nothing, see patterns in chaos, and slowly their lives begin to unravel. Men avoid them, friends drift away, family grows afraid, but power grows with them. They can sense lies, predict danger, feel emotions like storms inside their bones. Some say they can even bend time, but the price? They can never love. Not truly, because anyone who falls in love with them dies or vanishes or becomes something else. There are records, old psychiatric files, police reports, missing persons cases, women who claimed they were being followed by something they couldn't see, who heard voices in the walls, who found strange symbols carved into their skin while they slept, who woke up in places they didn't remember going to. And always the same phrase, "You were supposed to say yes." Many were labeled mentally ill, locked away, drugged, forgotten. But those who escaped or survived told the same story, that the longer a woman waits to marry, the more she opens a door that leads to knowledge, to strength, to something that watches from beyond, and once opened, it never closes. Now in modern times, the legend still lingers, not in villages, not in forests, but in cities, in apartments lit only by streetlights, in mirrors where reflections move slightly out of sync, in dating apps that delete themselves after a profile is viewed, and in the minds of women who feel like they're slipping between two worlds, one real, one almost real. Some choose to ignore the signs. Others try to find peace in normalcy. They marry late, have children, build lives. But the thing that watches doesn't forget. It waits until the moment they feel safe, until they think they've escaped. Then it returns and asks again, "Do you still wish to remain?" And if they say no, the curse lifts. But if they say yes, they become something else. Guardians, keepers of secrets, echoes of women who waited too long. So next time you see a woman who is alone past the age society deems acceptable, don't pity her, don't judge her, because maybe, just maybe, she isn't waiting for a man. She's waiting for something far more powerful. And when it arrives, even time won't be able to stop it. If this story gave you chills, then you're already listening closer than you realize. Thanks for watching on Hidden Dimension AI, where reality fades and the unknown begins. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you never miss a new mystery. And remember, the longer you wait, the more you open the door. See you in the next video.